Welcome back to the channel, y'all. This is first of all a mini kind of review experience of the parking cruise, Port Canaveral parking. It's like an offsite parking place that's fairly cheaper than parking at the cruise terminal spot. So this is what it looks like. When I did some reviews before I booked it, I didn't have many videos to watch, so hopefully this is helpful and I give you as much information as I can. So we arrived at about 9:30 and I didn't really pay attention to the instructions for real, but they said that you'll have to wait, so don't get there too early, and that they won't open the gate till 10:30. But they open the gate at 10, so I think that's pretty much how that's gonna go. And they tell you to leave your key on the Actually, let me just back up. I'll tell you about that later. So they pull you into a preliminary parking spot and you unload, and you see that building that says check-in and something about luggage. There's a bathroom right over there, and so you go around and that's where they basically check you in, and you will get your this little card that says cruise terminal number 6 when you come back from the cruise, and it just has all your information that you're going to need when you come back. So you want to keep this card. So it's interesting that after they park your car, then you go check in. I wish they would have did that first. So, like, what if you didn't have a reservation for it? So we're here at this parking cruise terminal at Port Canaveral, and we're pretty much like the 5th car in line. So what you do is you come on in and they park you, and so they will tell you to leave your key. So if you feel weird about other people driving your key, it's like a chauffeur service. So once you unload your stuff out right there, you can go pee at this little spot over here. You unload and you come and wait and get on your bus. So hopefully you're right in time to get on your bus, but then they park your car. So we're parked right there. They already parked our car. It's pretty empty out here. I'm not sure if that's the same way all the time for everybody, but there are people getting off of their cruise at the same time as we're getting on ours. So that's how that's going. Right now it's 10:19 and our check-in time is at 10:30, and we just were too late to get on the first shuttle. But this is what the shuttles look like. There's one for Mardi Gras, and we're on the side for Carnival Freedom. So let's see how long it takes for that bus to come back. Now, I wanted to give you some of the pros I could think of. So the first pro is that it was easy to find. Just put it in your Google Maps or whatever maps you use, and you'll see a pink building if you saw that in the beginning clip. And I mean, there could have been better signage to, like, as far as if you get there early before the gates open, exactly where to line up and park. We just kind of parked behind cars that were already there, but it's kind of hard to figure out exactly where you should be parked when you're waiting. And other than that, I mean, it's fairly simple. You'll know that it's where you're supposed to park because you'll see all the cars parked. But as far as, like, what do we do? Where do we wait? And blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like, and you're just kind of waiting and wondering. But other than that, the location is fairly simple to find, and it's less stress than going straight to the terminal. So it is low stress, and I mean, just once you get your luggage off, you can go pee whenever you want to or use the bathroom, and they'll check you in, and not crowded. I'm not sure if that's the same all the time, but I don't think there's that much availability when you are registering for this parking cruise place. So I mean, I don't think they overbook anybody, so I feel like it's probably pretty limited, so I don't expect it to be crowded all the time. So you see we have this big, I'll call this a canopy, I don't know what to call this, but this covered waiting area, so if it was raining or if it was hot, you would be protected from the sun and the rain, so that's really good. And I think it's a pretty good price. I guess for about 6 days worth of parking, it's $55 total. I think that was about the price. I can't think off memory, but I don't think it's more than $60, so I think you're saving at least a good amount compared to parking at the cruise port. So I think that was a good price, and I felt like the cars kept fairly safe. I think they lock your key up, and the car was in the same place when we got back. And they say make sure if you want to take pictures of your odometer to make sure nobody's taking anything or driving it around crazy, that you can you can definitely do that. So it seemed okay. They keep the gates locked, so no worries there for me. So some cons, they may or may not be cons for you, but I wish they would open the gate a little bit sooner, just so you don't have to feel so rushed, especially if your check-in time is at 10:30. But I do understand there are shuttles coming, like dropping people back off after their cruise, so they don't want too much, mixture of people coming in and going out. So to go ahead and get the people out from people coming back from their cruise, I guess that makes sense. So, I mean, 10 is still better than 10:30, like they said on the website. So hopefully 10 is for real the time that they open up the gate. So bathroom sanitation, it was okay. There was 2 bathroom stalls, unisex. So could just been a little bit cleaner, but it is a good thing that they actually have a bathroom option, so you might as well go ahead and take that time to use the restroom if you need to before you get on your shuttle and start that whole check-in process for your cruise. So I mean, it's a pro that they have a bathroom, but it could be a little bit nicer. So this con is more of a aesthetics to just look a bit nicer here, but it is a cheaper way to get to your thing. So to check in after getting parked, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like they should have checked us in as we came into the thing. Like maybe checking us in while we're waiting the 30 minutes, before 10 o'clock, that would have been helpful. A little bit more efficient. Limited availability. I don't think you'll be able to register to park here if it's like 2 seconds before your cruise starts. So maybe a good 2 weeks before your cruise, go ahead and book your this parking, because I went back and checked later and it said it was full. So be mindful of that. And the people who are in charge of the shuttle are not really in a hurry. They don't know your check-in time. So if you want to be on the first shuttle, then be about the first in line. We were 5th in line, but we did take our time to go use the restroom and just kind of, chill out. But overall, it didn't take long for the shuttle to come back, for us to get on the shuttle, and for us to get to the cruise terminal. And so after we got on, everything was pretty straightforward and quick. So I think it's worth it still.
Or Joe Burrow or Al.
So the person driving the shuttle will take your suitcase, so you'll leave your suitcase right outside the shuttle, and they will, I guess depending on what type of shuttle it is, they'll put your luggage on the side or wherever. So they'll put all the luggage on and they'll take all the luggage off. So before you get off the shuttle, they'll take your luggage off. And so you don't really have to worry about that. Just leave your suitcase outside of the shuttle and they'll put it on. Just make sure you see your shuttle. Your suitcase.
I suffered all that. You got this band.
So I'm not sure how the rotation works, but these cars were already parked, I guess, from a different cruise. I'm not sure how many different cruise ships and how many different sections of cars they have parked, but I think they have a pretty solid system going on. They know where your car is and XYZ. So I'm just showing you, like, there's already cars parked there. And about the time we pull off, and I'm sorry I didn't give you where exactly when exactly we pulled off, but it was probably about 10:32. And this is just a map of where we are and how long it takes to get to the cruise terminal. It says 6 minutes, but it took us pretty much exactly 10 minutes from the time we pulled off until the time we got off. So it was just still a little bit crazy when we pulled into where you get parked and dropped off. So we had to wait probably like an extra minute, and he gave us instructions about when we came back. And so he said, when you come back, just go across the crosswalk and look for our shuttle and present the card that they gave you. So you take a picture of your card just in case you lose it, but keep it with that parking cruise card. So I'm just showing you where the place was and how far it was, and you can see that it was just over the water. It was pretty simple ride, nice and slow, 10 minutes. So we got there probably about 10:42-ish. But when we got off, we didn't have to take anything of our luggage. They took our luggage off and it was immediately handed off to the people who work at the cruise port terminal. So we didn't have to touch our suitcases again. Alrighty, y'all. It is 11:10. So ultimately, I think that was a fairly quick process from getting to the parking cruise place, maybe 10-minute wait on a shuttle, 10 minutes to get to the cruise terminal and to get ourselves checked in and to be walking through the gangway to get onto the ship. Took probably a whole hour in total, which was fairly quick. I hope y'all enjoyed or learned something from this. And if you want to see our cruise experience, definitely check out the video and subscribe. And I'll see you later.